Standard Ninth, Subject English, Book Movements. Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with our second chapter of the book Movements, The Adventure of Toto by Ruskin Bond. Before starting the explanation, let me give you a short introduction of the author. Ruskin Bond is an Indian author of British descent. He lives with his adopted family in Mussoorie, India, and the Indian Council for Child Education has recognized his role in the growth of children's literature in India. He was awarded the Sahitya Academy Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra, his novel in English. He was also awarded the Padma Shri in 1999 and the Padma Bhushan in 2014. Adventures of Toto is a humorous story of a naughty little monkey named Toto. So let us begin the chapter and find out what all things it has been done or what the author has to say about Toto in this chapter. Grandfather bought Toto from a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough, and the monkey looked so out of place there that grandfather decided he would add the little fellow to his private zoo. So the chapter, it has been the narrator who has been mentioning or saying, talking about this Toto and grandfather. That narrator's grandfather, he bought this little monkey from one of a Tonga driver who had tied this little monkey to his Tonga, and he bought the small monkey after paying him 5 rupees to him. As grandfather saw him that this little monkey he was being tied and not kept properly, he thought that I will buy this and I will add my collection of animals to the private zoo which the narrator's grandfather was having at his home. Toto was a pretty monkey. His bright eyes sparkled with mischief beneath deep-set eyebrows, and his teeth, which were a pearly white, were very often displayed in a smile that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. So the description of this little monkey it has been given. So it is the narrator is mentioning that Toto was a pretty looking monkey and he was having a bright sparkling eyes. So from his eyes one can see and identify that he is very mischievous monkey, and his teeth they were very white like a pearl, and when he used to display his teeth to anyone, they used to get frightened because of his smile, and especially the Anglo-Indian ladies. But his hands looked dried up as though they had been pickled in the sun for years. Yet his fingers were quick and wicked, and his tail, while adding to his good looks. So as his description the narrator is mentioning, he is telling that his hands they were looking very much dried up as if it is been kept in the sun for pickling. So we know that to prepare a pickle, we dry that mango or lemon whatever it is in the sun and then we pickle it. So in that same manner the narrator is mentioning his hands, it is like it has been pickled in the sun for many years, but the fingers which he is having they are very energetic and quick, and not only his fingers, his tail also, that is according to the narrator's father, it is adding to his good look, and it also served as his third hat. So his tail it was acting as his third hand for little Toto. He could use it to hang from a branch, and it was capable of scooping up any delicacy that might be out of reach of his hand. So his tail, it was acting as a third hand for this little monkey. And how he was using his third hand, the narrator is mentioning that he used to scoop whatever delicacy it has been kept, anything which has been kept over there, and he is not able to reach that by his hand. He used to use his tail and get that delicacy or food item from there. And not only that, he used to hang on the branch with the help of his tail. Grandmother always fussed when grandfather brought home some new bird or animal. So it was decided that Toto's present should be kept a secret from her until she was in a particularly good mood. So, according to the narrator and his grandfather, they were supposed to keep this a little secret that they have brought a little monkey to their home, because whenever there was a new bird or animal grandfather used to bring to the home, grandmother, she always used to get angry, and they don't want to get grandmother more angry, so they decided that the presence of Toto should be kept a secret from grandmother till she is in a good mood. Grandfather and I put him away in a little closet opening into my bedroom wall, where he was tied securely, or so we thought, to a peg fastened into the wall. So, as it was to be kept as a secret from grandmother, this narrator and his grandfather, they take this little Toto to the narrator's bedroom, and there they are putting this Toto into the closet. Closet means closed cupboard. And inside the cupboard there was a peg. Peg means nail to hang the coat or any clothes in the cupboard. A few hours later, when grandfather and I came back to release Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked brick and plaster. So as this Toto, he was being put inside the closet, and after a few hours when grandfather and the narrator, they come back to release this Toto from the closet, they found that there was nothing. So the wall, which in the cupboard's wall, which was covered with the wallpaper, it was being fully torn by this Toto, and now the bricks were visible now. The peg in the wall had been wrenched from its socket, and my school blazer, which had been hanging there, was in shreds. And the peg on which this little Toto was being tied, it has come out of the wall, and there was a socket on which the narrator's school uniform or the blazer it was being hanging on, that was being torn into small pieces. I wondered what grandmother would say, but grandfather didn't worry, and he seemed pleased with Toto's performance. So when the narrator saw his school blazer being torn into pieces, at that time this narrator, he was very much confused, and he was thinking that what he will tell to his grandfather about his school uniform. But at that time he saw grandfather, he was not having any type of worry. Instead, he was having, or he just relaxed, and he felt happy because of the performance of Toto. He is clever, said grandfather. Given time, I am sure he could have tied the torn pieces of your blazer into a rope and made his escape from the window. So now the narrator, he was being little bit nervous after watching his blazer being torn into pieces, but grandfather, he was pleased, and he just defended Toto by saying that he is a clever little monkey, and if we would have come little bit late, then he would have uh, tied these torn pieces of blazer into a rope, and it would have escaped from the window with the help of that torn pieces of your blazer. His presence in the house still a secret, Toto was now transferred to a big cage in the servants' quarters where a number of grandfather's pets lived very sociably together. A tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a tame squirrel, and for a while my pet goat. So still now also the presence of Toto, it was a secret from other members of the house, especially the grandmother. And this Toto, he was being transferred to the servant quarters where a big cage was there, and in that cage different pet animals were kept. That is a private zoo for of the grandfather. And in that private zoo there were tortoise, pair of rabbits, tamed squirrel, as well as the narrator's pet goat was also in that cage. But the monkey wouldn't allow any of his companions to sleep at night. So grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun next day to collect his pension in Saharanpur, decided to take him along. So as he was being kept in the cage in the servants' quarter, he was not at all getting adjusted by the other animals of that cage, and he just made his companion so harassing them that they were not able to sleep. And as grandfather, next day he was supposed to go to Dehradun to collect his pension, so he decided that as if he is going to keep this Toto at home, he will be making other animals suffer. So he decided that he will be taking this Toto with him to the Saharanpur. Unfortunately, I could not accompany grandfather on that trip, but he told me about it afterwards. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto. This, with some straw at the bottom, became his new abode. And when the bag was closed, there was no escape. So unfortunately, the narrator, he was not able to accompany his grandfather to Dehradun, as he was next day he was supposed to go to the school. So he just told his grandfather that whatever happened in that trip, grandfather, when once he came back, he told everything what had happened. So for taking this Toto with him, they had some preparation done. So for that they had prepared a big canvas kit bag, and for that they, in that bag they first put some straws means dried grass inside the bottom of that bag, so that he can stay there comfortably. And after putting Toto inside that big canvas bag, they closed the zipper of the bag. And as once it was being closed, there was been no escape for little Toto. Toto could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. So his efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jump into the air, an exhibition that occurred an exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. So as this Toto, he was being kept in the bag, and the zipper, it was being closed. So the bag, it was so strong that he was not able to open the zipper, as well as he was not able to bite and tear down the bag. So occasionally what he was doing, that he was just moving inside the bag, and because of his effort he was not able to open it, but the bag, it started moving on the floor when it was being kept down, and occasionally when he used to jump, what happened, the bag also it used to move, jump into the air. And because of this, many people on the station, they were curious to see that how a bag, it is moving on its own. So the crowd on the Dehradun railway station, they were curious to look the moving bag. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur, but while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. So the whole journey, Toto was inside the bag. And when they reached Saharanpur, at that time, as grandfather was just showing his ticket to the ticket collector, suddenly Toto, he just poked his head out of the bag and just gave a grin. Grin means smile to the ticket collector. The poor man was taken aback, but with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You will have to pay for it accordingly." So when the ticket collector first saw this Toto grinning at him, he was shocked, and then within he just becomes normal within few seconds, and then he is just asking the grandfather that, "Sir, as you are having a dog with you, you have to pay for it as his ticket." In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog or even as a quadruped. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was the sum handed over as his fare. So grandfather, he just tried to explain to the ticket collector that Toto, it was a monkey, not a dog. And he just took this Toto outside the bag and showed to the ticket collector that, "You just see, it is not a dog." But this ticket collector, he was not ready to accept, and at the end grandfather has to pay 3 rupees to the ticket collector as a fare of uh, Toto as a dog. Then grandfather, just to get his own bag, took from his pocket our pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this, since you charge for all animals?" So as grandfather, he was little bit annoyed because of the behavior of ticket collector. He just took out his purse, and he showed the picture of the tortoise, and he just asked the ticket collector that, "What you will be taking of this animal as a fare if I am bringing this animal?" The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look, and said, "No charge, it is not a dog." As grandfather showed him the picture of tortoise, the ticket collector, he just took the photo from grandfather and he just looked at that picture very closely, and then he gave back the picture to the grandfather and told him that there will be no charge for this animal because it is not a dog. So we charge only for a dog. As you people can see, the grandfather is arguing with the ticket collector that it is not a dog, it is a monkey in this picture. In this picture, you can see how Toto is harassing the other animals of grandfather's private zoo. When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable where he had for a companion the family of donkey Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. So after returning from Dehradun, at home, Toto was being introduced to everyone, and finally, grandmother accepted Toto. And as grandmother accepted him, uh, Toto was being transferred to a comfortable home where he was being kept with the family of a donkey named Nana. So as Toto was being there with the donkey's family, at night, grandfather paid a visit to see whether Toto was comfortable over there or not in the stable. Grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable, and to his surprise, he found Nana, without apparent cause, pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. So, grandfather, he was little worried that whether Toto will be comfortable at the new place or not, but to his surprise, he found that Nana was being just uncomfortable standing at its own place, and grandfather found that Nana was just keeping pulling halter means the rope which is being tied on the head of the animal, so it was trying to pull its halter away from head as far as possible from the bundle of hay means grass, dried grass, which was kept over there. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. He had fastened on to her long ears with his sharp little teeth. So, as grandfather saw Nana moving away from him, he just gave a slap on the haunches. Haunches means at the back of the donkey, and as Nana got a slap, it jerked, it gave a jerk, and as it and on that jerk, this Toto was also dragging with her. And immediately this Toto he climbed upon Nana and he bit on the long ears of Nana with his sharp little teeth. As you can see in the previous picture of, you can see how Toto was biting the ears of Nana. Toto and Nana never became friends. And from this incident, it was finalized that this Toto and Nana, they were never been friends over there. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings was a large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. So whenever it used to be in the winter season, cold winter used to be there, it was a treat for Toto when he was being given warm water by grandmother to take a bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand and then gradually step into the bath, first one foot and then the other, as he had seen me doing, and until he was into the water up to his neck. So when he was being given the warm water, as if he used to check the temperature of the water, he first used to kept put his hand inside the water and check the temperature of the water, that how hot it is, and then he used to keep his one foot inside and then the other. So this thing he used to imitate how the narrator used to check the water. So he had Toto has seen the narrator doing this, so he also used to imitate the narrator, and then he used to step inside and sit inside the water until his neck deep water. So you can see in this picture how Toto has been checking the temperature of the water and then how he is taking his bath. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. So once he used to feel comfortable inside the neck deep water, then he used to take soap and used to rub it on his all over the body, hands and feet. And as slowly the water used to get cold, he would just come out of the water and run quickly to the kitchen fire to dry himself with the help of the fire. If anyone laughed at him during this performance, Toto's feelings would be hurt and he would refuse to go on with his bath. And while doing this, if anybody used to watch him and if by mistake anybody used to laugh, then the feelings of Toto he will get hurt. Like every small kid, if we laugh in front of them, at that time they just become angry. So that same thing Toto also used to behave in that manner, and when anybody used to laugh at him, he used to feel hurt and then he will refuse to take his bath. So one day Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. So one incident, the narrator here it is he is mentioning that one day he nearly boiled himself alive. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. So as the narrator he is just explaining what happened on that particular day. So the narrator is mentioning a large kettle was being kept on the fire for boiling the water for preparing the tea. So as Toto came near there, he found nobody near that kettle, and he found nothing else better to do that. What he did, he just removed the lid of the kettle, and when he just put his finger inside the water to check the temperature, he found that it was just warm enough for his bath. So as he used to do while checking, when he was being given the warm water, in that same manner he just opened the lid of the kettle and he put his finger and checked, and when he found out it was a correct temperature for him to take a bath, he just continued. He got in with his head sticking out from the open kettle, and this was just fine for a while until the water began to boil. So, as he found the temperature of the water fit exactly the same for him, he just got inside the kettle. So, it was good for him for a few minutes, and then slowly the water started to get boiled. Toto raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again, and he continued hopping up and down from some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him half boiled out of the kettle. So as he sat inside the water, the water started boiling. So from underneath, when he used to feel the heat of the boiling water, he used to get out. When he used to poke his head out of the kettle, and when he used to find out that outside it is very cold, again he used to sit inside the kettle again, and he continued hopping up and down the water, and until this was being discovered by grandmother, she arrived and she shouted on Toto, and by that time Toto was half boiled and he was taken out of the kettle. If there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. So here the narrator is mentioning that if in our brain, if there is a special part where all the mischievous activities being created, so that part was specially developed in Toto, because every time, always he used to think how to irritate others and do mischievous activity. He was always tearing things to pieces Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. So every now and then he used to think of one or the other way to damage things, and he used to especially love to tear things. Narrator is mentioning that when one of his aunt came near him, he used to go over there, he used to go near and take hold of the dress which she was wearing and try to make a hole on that dress. So he was not sitting quietly always, he used to think of one or the other thing to disturb others and do mischievous activities. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. So one day what happened? Grandmother had prepared pulao and it was kept at the center of the dining table, and all of them, they were just entering the dining area to eat that pulao. They found Toto. He was sitting beside that plate of pulao and he was stuffing himself with the rice. My grandmother screamed and Toto threw a plate at her. So as grandmother saw Toto eating that, stuffing that pulao inside his mouth, she just screamed. And as she screamed on Toto, what this Toto did, he just took a plate and threw at her. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in the face. So, to make Toto away from the dining table, one of the narrator's aunt, she just rushed towards Toto. And when she went near Toto, Toto just he just threw a glass of water, and that water, it was there on the narrator's aunt's face. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through a window. We found him in the branches of a jackfruit tree and the dish still in his arms. So when grandfather arrived at the dining area to have the food, that time, as soon as Toto saw grandfather coming, he took the plate of pulao and he just went outside through the window and he climbed on one of the jackfruit tree, and he was having the plate of pulao still in his arms. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. So he remained on that jackfruit tree the whole afternoon and he was eating slowly the pulao, and he was just determined to finish every grain in that plate which was being there. And then, in order to spite grandmother who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. And after finishing the pulao which was there in the plate, he was just angry on grandmother as she just screamed on him. So to make her more angry, what he did, from the top, means from on the branch of the jackfruit where he was sitting, from there he threw the dish down from the tree, and as the dish it fell on the ground, it has turned broken into 100 pieces. And when he saw that, he was so happy with delight on that pieces which had fallen on the ground. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long, and even grandfather realized that we were not well to do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpaper. So after this incident, was decided, and also grandfather also realized that as they were not belonging from a well-to-do family, they were not able to have, or frequently they cannot afford to buy new dishes, clothes, curtains and wallpaper every now and then, because this Toto, he used to damage everything. He used to love damaging all these things. So at the end, this grandfather realized that Toto is not a type of pet which they can keep at home. So what he did, so grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. So in the end, as Toto was mischievous and did not get along well with other animals, as well as he used to destroy whatever he used to get in his hand, grandfather realized that he is not a kind of pet they can keep at home. So he found the same Tonga driver from whom he had bought this little monkey and resold him for rupees 3. So he bought this monkey from him for 5 rupees, but he resold the monkey to the same Tonga driver on a loss of rupees 2. Meaning of two words from the chapter, that is turnstile and halter, it is given over here. And next it is home assignment. Write down these question answers in your notebook. I hope you enjoyed the chapter of this little monkey and its mischievous activities in this chapter. Thank you for watching this video.